'Twas chilled that foggy morning as Enchanter Pumat wandered the wood in search of fine mushrooms to flavor his food.
'Twas a great and just beautiful night out in the woods.
It was a dark, mysterious night in the forest.
It was a dark forest in the middle of the night, in the dead of winter. I don't think that's right.
It was a dark, and it's very important that it's a dark night. Marisha was very emphatic about that.
Was a dark and cold wintry night.
Dark and cold winter's evening.
It was a dark and scary night and cold.
A feral wolf stalking from the shadows. To his surprise, the beast did speak.
He turns around and it's a hunter wolf. When he saw the wolf had a beak. Definitely does not sound right.
He was approached by a hunter wolf of some kind. This wolf had a strange beak on his face.
Suddenly, he encroached upon a hunter wolf with a beak. So, I don't know what that is.
And it turns out that the wolf was a hunter of some sort.
He came upon a wolf, and then he was like, I'm just a hunter.
But then he came upon a wolf, and the wolf came up and was angry to see Pumat's soul, but the wolf was like, hey, no bigs, I'm a hunter.
It's when he ran into a wolf that he wasn't expecting. And the wolf said, hey, no bigs, my man, I'm a hunter.
Till an evening's mushroom stew took on a unique lupine flavor.
And this beautiful food that he made, it was a stew, and with all the mushrooms that he made, and it had an interesting lupine taste.
And the stew had an oddly lupine flavor there in the dark woods.
But this mushroom stew had an oddly lupine taste to it. So, we're watching you, Pumat Soul.
He looked at the mushrooms and was very taken by them. They were very curious mushrooms. He decided to eat them. And when he did, they had a very lupine flavor to them. And they changed things in Pumat's soul. He became, well, something more.
They had a very lupine flavor, and Pumat's soul became something more.
And then Pumat's soul continued his quest to try and find some mushrooms, and he found them. And when he found them, they had a very lupine flavor. They tasted like a wolf.
And then Pumat sniffed the mushrooms, and they were wolf scented, like they sometimes are. And that's the end of the story. Mystery.
Oh, hi, it's me, Jester.
I'm just going to start the story. Okay, so, how are you doing?
Hello, everybody, it is me, Jester.
Oh, hi, it is me, Jester. Technically, I am recording.
Okay. Oh, hi, it's me, Jester.
Hello, everybody, it's me, Jester.
Hello, everybody, it's me, Jester.
Hello, my name is Jester.
Lay back and let me tell you about how to find Picador's plum.
So he told me the story of Picador's plum.
And he said, I have quite a story to tell you. It is called Piccadilly's plum.
The traveler came and told me a story about a fruit called the Piccadilly plum.
There is a beautiful plum, a fruit called the Piccadilly plum.
Oh, this plum is called, it's a Piccadilly plum.
Yeah, there was a desert plum
called a Persephone plum.
He told me a story about a delicious desert plum named Persephone, and you will come across a boulder the size of a hut. No, the shape of a hut.
You will find a hut. No, you will find a boulder in the shape of a hut.
His lair was a hut in the shape of a rock. It was a hut. It was a hut that he lived in, but it was in the shape of a rock.
A layer that looks like a stone. No, this actually has a layer that looks like a stone. But it's not a stone.
He lives in a hut that looks like stone, but it's not stone.
Where there is a stone hut? I think
to a forest with a hot stone, with a house.
And you hang out, you know, and you have a good time.
And underneath the boulder lives a hippogriff named Okarna.
And under the hut is a hippogriff named Schmazerwolf.
To a man named Schmortzy, and Schmortzy, nope, he's not a man, he's a hippogriff. Ha 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 ha, details.
And you are looking for a hippogriff named Schmoltzy, Schurply, Schultzy, Schmooply.
Oh, and the hippogriff's name was Schmoopsy Ploopsy.
And you bring it to this magical hippogriff who lives in this stone hut, who is also named Schmoopsy Moopsy?
With a hippogriff, a hippogriff named Schmutzy.
And the hippogriff's name is Schwammy. Schmoopy. Schmoopy is the name. The traveler told me this story, and he has many more stories, but that is just the one that he told me for today, so that's it. It's okay. Goodbye.
Scanlan Shorthalt here with a tale for the ages.
Scanlan Shorthalt here with a tale for the ages.
Scanlan Shorthalt here with a tale for the ages.
I'm Scanlan Shorthalt, and you know, I'm gonna tell you a story here.
Okay, so this is a story by Scanlan Shorthalt.
Hi, I'm Scanlan Shorthalt, and I'm here to tell you a tale.
Hello, I'm Scanlan Shorthalt, and I'm going to tell you a tale.
Hello, my name is Scanlan Shorthalts, and I'm gonna tell you a tale.
Paulé was a poor delivery boy in love with a rich woman named Sudara.
Our story begins with a man named Paulé, who was in love with a woman named Sudara. Oh, what was her name again? We'll go with Sahara. I don't remember, something like that. Serena.
It's one named Paulé and his beautiful lover, Adala.
Okay, two lovers named Paulé and Adula.
Two gnomes named Paulé and Adula.
Two gnomes named Paulé and Adula.
There were these two gnomes, Polly and Adula.
These two gnomes that I knew named named Polly and Adula.
He was asked to deliver a letter from the evil Goliath ruler, Prince Rotzi.
Happened upon a letter from the terrible Goliath ruler named Rotney, I think it was.
At the end of their street, there was a large Goliath named Rotney. Paulé, Adala, Rotney. Yeah, Rotney.
A Goliath that lives down the street, yeah? So this Goliath, his name is Rodney.
Then, for some reason, the story jumps to a Goliath named Rodney.
And there was this Goliath in another town named Rodney.
It was this Goliath named Rodney.
There was a half-orc named Rodney.
There once was a poor man named Paulet who invented a magical pince-nez. It found him love, riches, and glee. But when you look too close, you might not like what you see.
There once was a man named Parley who invented himself a patinee. But when you look real hard, you might not learn. You might not appreciate what you find, Danae.
My name is Polly, and I invented a Putnam, and that's the end of the story.
Like, I'm Polly. I created these spectacles with a Putnam.
Going, I'm Polly. Polly.
I'm Polly! I'm the best! Polly!
And that's where Liam finished it. So I'm gonna say that Dula was moved by this song, as was Rodney, and they both decided to stay. And they had a wonderful threesome.
Polly! Oh, Polly, I love you! Polly! Polly, please don't go! Oh, I'm Polly, but I'm singing to Adula.
Adula, despite his obvious, Polly's obvious self-centeredness, decided instead of choosing, she would have both of them for a hot threesome, to which they continued for many years.
I do love you. I don't know what I'd do without you. 'Cause I love you. I do love. And, she decided she was just gonna have both of them, Polly and Rodney, at the same time for a threesome. And that threesome lasted for many, many years.
Every Junger and Mädchen of the Empire knows the story of the dreaded Waldhexe.
Let me tell you a tale that all children of the Empire know of the Vortex.
A spooky story that all Empire children know about the Vortex.
A spooky tale that every kid in the Empire knows. And it's about the Vortex, okay? Once upon a time, there were three kids that decided they wanted to visit the Vortex.
3 kids that go to explore the spooky vortex.
There are first 3 children that were, wandering, it seems, far from the city, and they went into the dark woods and then came upon this mysterious vortex.
They traveled outside of the city limits into the dark woods and found a vortex.
From one boy she cut out much of his mind and ate it, and his thoughts were no longer his own.
And she came to the first child, and she plucked out his mind and ate it. And for the rest of his life, he would never know a thought that was his own.
She went up to the first child, and of the first child, she plucked his brain and ate it. And that child will never know a thought of his own.
She sees the first kid and she goes up to him and she rips open the top of his head and she takes some of the brains out and she's like, hum. She starts eating the brains. Okay, so she's eating the brains and then the kid is like, oh no, loses the ability to think for himself.
She runs forward and she opens up the first kid's head. And she takes out parts of his brain and goes, she eats his brain. And the kid loses all ability to think for himself.
The first witch, she snags the first kid and she she eats his brain and the kid can no longer think for himself.
And the crone, she grabs the child and just eats upon him, devours and eats his brain, his mind. And so he cannot think for himself.
The first child stepped forward and the crone said, and ate out his brain, leaving him dumb and brainless.
As long as you send me your children and their children after them, thus will your blood and bones nourish the land, and your kingdom can continue to grow. And so it has, for years upon years.
Now you must go home and send me your children, and your children after them, and their children after them, and the city will grow, and the wheat will grow, and the city will be blessed forevermore.
And when you go home, your children and your children's children and your children's children's children will all be mine. And it will sustain this land.
Something about it sustaining land? The cycle of kids will sustain the land?
They are cursed. They are cursed. Their children's children are cursed. And they are cursed forever until the end of time.
They realized they are cursed. Now in the Empire, they are cursed. Their children are cursed. Their children's children are cursed.
They told other kids, and the town in Zemnia was cursed forever.
Do not go inside, for if you do, you are to be cursed without a mind, without the sight, and without the heart.
Do not go into the vortex. You will be cursed with no brain, no feelings, no sight, no sound. You will be cursed in all of these ways. You will not see, feel, or hear. Maybe that was it? See, feel, or hear? And this warning of curse has echoed for generations. And that concludes the story.